announcements. A fan of a franchise can hope. I know. That's all you can do sometimes, Indominus. But all right, I got all the articles. I still need to eat, but I'll do the news and then I'll eat. Let's do it. News time, chat. Hopefully I fit on the screen properly. Me, I'm tiny and I don't fit on my desk. Oh no, I need to lock my glasses. Where are my glasses are fine. I'm not fine. Me. Your tiny news lad. Okay. I don't know why I was very small, but... Alright. News chat, you ready? You ready for news? Before that, we have a fun fact from Indominus. I recently learned about Fossil Fighters 1 and 2, and it's somehow impossible to extract the 3D models. They're made from an unknown format. I would believe that. A lot of indie or smaller companies will sometimes just develop their own stuff and then just slap it together, and then like no one can figure it out because it doesn't use any like standardization. And I wouldn't be surprised that some of the community members we've spoken to actually have that information. Seems like that game. Those games seem a little interesting just in terms of how they were developed, but Japanese indies do be like that. Well, I don't know if they're indie. I think they're like single A is probably how to describe them. Ryzen MP4. All right, let's get started with news. We'll start with one of the reasons why I wanted to do Digimon is we're really approaching it, and I keep talking about it, and it happened again. It's happened again, and it keeps teasing us. I'm a big Digimon fan, you now know this. Digimon Survive ESRB rating reappeared. It's back again. We've talked about this so many times. It's appeared in Brazil, it's appeared in Australia, it's appeared in like apparently some other regions. It keeps coming back. This game keeps getting delayed. I've been waiting for so long. I really want this game to come out. I hope it's good. I hope we haven't been waiting for no reason. But it's reappeared for its ESRB rating. So, yeah, Digimon Survive is meant to be the next branch. I talked about how there's 3 pillars of Digimon. World, story, and it used to be fighters, but I would say the gacha is now. But Survive is meant to be the 3rd one, which is essentially a tactical game like Fire Emblem. It's just been in development hell. They just can't finish it. This game has just really been struggling, and hopefully the delays are ending and it will be out soon. I don't really know what's happening, but a little worried. Monster Hunter World's Assassin's Creed crossover is ending, so a lot of Monhound fans in the community probably already have gotten this too, but it's a weird thing to see when essentially IP like relations on crossovers and events and stuff like that need to end because they just don't have that sort of, the contract is no longer signed or whatever. So this event is ending, so now it's actually a timed event. Surprising. So if you haven't already gone and got that stuff, you probably should go do that. Not really a fan that this has happened, but at the same time, I wasn't really a fan of. It never really fit Monster Hunter World. World had some weird crossovers. I'm not gonna lie. The 14 one was brilliant, but the rest of it was a bit strange. Delays can be hard to gauge. On one hand, it could mean the game ends up polished. On the other hand, it's be a sign that the game is inevitably going to be a mess. That's correct, James. I completely agree. I think in this case, it's really rough because that game, I think, is both. It looks like it's being delayed because they need to put the polish on it, but at the same time, because of when it got delayed, it's probably going to be a mess at the same time. I think there's going to be parts of that game that are going to be fine, and there's going to be other parts of the game that are going to be really rough. I think that the animated sequences, the story, all that stuff, hopefully will be really good, but I think that the gameplay and the amount of variety in the game, because it's a monster game, is actually going to be on the lower side. But really hard to say. We'll see. Dauntless is coming to PS5, Xbox Series X on December 2nd. I only want to bring this up because Dauntless is actually very good. We're just talking about Monster Hunter. I'm actually shocked more people don't play this game. I actually am, I like this game a lot. I wish I had played it more. And people really, really enjoy this game. I think it's a good free-to-play game that did very well being inspired by Monster Hunter and those hunting genre games. I think it doesn't quite click with me in terms of the art and feel, but I think it's definitely worth checking. And they're doing a next-gen experience. BlazBlue Alternative, The Dark War to end. The Dark War is to end service in January 2022. So if you guys don't know, so this was a gacha game for BlazBlue, the fighting game, to continue on the story and sort of flesh out some parts. It looked good. I think it looked fine. I think it's just another gacha though, and I think that's what doomed it. And it's sad because this might be the last time we see BlazBlue. So it sounds like the developer, the lead producer for BlazBlue he's done. I don't think he wants to do fighting games. I think he's done with BlazBlue. He's really just with the industry. But I guess this is going to be something that's just, this is it. It's BlazBlue might be ending just for a long time. It might go as a dormant IP for a while. It was the killer app for Arxis for a bit there. It was their main fighting game outside of Guilty Gear. And then Guilty Gear came out with Exert, and that was they really looked back, unfortunately. But we'll see. We'll see. Disappointing to hear in a sense, but at the same time, I'm not sure it was the correct. Solar Ash. So Solar Ash has come out now. I actually want to play this game a lot. It looks really cool. It's made from the Hyperlight Drifter team. It looks pretty crazy in terms of style and play style. If you guys haven't seen it, we'll watch this trailer. But it looks pretty dope. So
continue down this path, and you will suffer like me. Your every move intensifies my pain. Your blind ambition, all your good intentions. Everything you touch turns to ash.
I recognize that voice. Who was that? Was that A2? I think that was A2's voice actor. See, you're kind of a rollerblader action boy. And you, the environments look crazy. They're so huge. I'm not crazy, chat. Is that A2 or 2B? It's not 2B, it's A2, I think. Sounds like one of them. It just looks like it has good flow. I'm always into an action game that has good flow motion. And ironically, I'm going to say something pretty crazy here.
You can't save anyone.
This feels like what Sonic should be able to pull off. I would love to have a Sonic game that plays like this. But it looks, I really hope it's fantastic. Might be a shorter experience, but it looks really, really, really polished. But yeah, Solar Ash. Out now. That looks alright. It's not on Switch. I know, I'm sorry, James. That's the thing. It's hard because you see games you want and they're just not on the platform. Respawn pulls Titanfall from sale. So this one's a weird one. Titanfall is no longer going to have its servers up and running. So they've decided to pull it from sale. Respawn did not give a reason for the game's removal, but the multiplayer title had suffered from years of DDoS attacks and disruptive trolling behavior. Very weird, because Respawn and the fact that their connections with EA and the fact that they are currently the Apex Legends team, I don't know. It's really weird, the idea that this game has just been pulled. Titanfall is the reason why Respawn is known, and that they figured it out. They were the pioneers for the modern shooter feel. If you've played any shooter in the past, I want to say 10 years. Titanfall is probably where it started. And if you, that run and gun mechanic like style, that's them. And I never played Titanfall, but it's weird to now have this situation where that game is not available to people. Weird legacy thing now. I don't know. Hey Brookie, welcome on in. Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl update patch fixes bugs. If you have not been following Diamond and Pearl, there's a friend of mine who's not letting me not know. I have not played the game, but I've heard this game is a fucking shit show in terms of bugs. This game has got some real crazy amount of bugs that exist in this game. And game-breaking ones, like ones that look like you've hacked your game, but you haven't. Like there's cloning and duplications and like people glitching into being able to go fight like legendaries that aren't even in the game yet and capturing them. There's weird connections with the Pokemon Home and stuff like that looks like they're going to be just like the good old days. It's crazy. This game looks like a bit of a mess. This seems like it might be one of the most broken Pokemon games to date. But it sounds like they're trying to fix things. One of them is the duplication glitch. I think they're now trying to fix that. There's a couple other things I think they fixed that were pretty substantial, but right after the patch, people found new ones. Oh, really, Indominus? Is that true? I'm not surprised. It sounds like this game's been put together with hopes and dreams, unfortunately. It's weird because it's one of those things I feel like not too many people are talking about it, but from what I've seen where it's impacted, pretty bad. And this game's still selling well and reviewing well though, even though it's like, I think it's like if you interact with like in particular ways, you kind of just accept the weird glitch and then keep moving, but there's a lot of people. Like, one of the biggest things is the fact that puzzles are weird. Like the diagonal direction just means that you can just glitch through half the puzzles in Pokemon gyms and stuff. I didn't get these new ones. I hated Shield so much. Yes, so you and I the same on that, James. I'm not picking up this game. I refuse to pick this game up. I think this game is just it's like, I didn't like this generation. I think this is a poor remake. I just don't want it. I will go back and play if I wanted to play that generation, I'm going to go back and play Platinum. That's it. Yeah, after patching and cloning people, they found a different way. Really? Oh. The more bugs, the better. It really depends, Clunima. I like funny bugs. It sounds like there's game-breaking ones in here. Like, there's hard locks, soft locks, save deletions. There's a lot of stuff that it's like, it'd make it a scary experience to play that game. Makes sense. We'll see. Pokemon Company, surely that they'll fix some of it, not all of it. All right, moving on to actual cool patch notes. It is time. Final Fantasy XIV's final, well, this arc of the story's expansion is out. Endwalker is here. Complete patch notes were released. There's a lot in here. If you haven't read these patch notes, some of it's pretty amazing. We kind of knew a lot of it coming just from the live letters and stuff. But yeah. Very, very excited. I kind of was wishing I was playing it this morning. I was like torn whether or not I wanted to do Digimon, but I already wrote down to do it because I didn't get into the servers for Final Fantasy yesterday. Imagine that today they're going to be pretty bonkers. So doing it on stream might be just a bit of a mess. But yeah, based on the gameplay, it's not as good as Platinum. Just looking at the second gym, it looks rough. Remember, it's not the main Pokemon team, so it's gonna be weird. But we're going to do a few Final Fantasy XIV articles. One big one is that they have surpassed 25 million users. I don't think that breaks the World of Warcraft one. I think WoW's top end was 30 or 35. I'm fairly sure that, but they're approaching. Like, that's a lot of people playing an MMO like this era. And well earned. 14 fan-fucking-tastic. I love that game to death. Oh, wait, what? World of Warcraft boasted over 100 million accounts. Oh, that's 100 million. Okay, that's a lot more. I didn't realize they were that much. WoW got big, didn't it? WoW got really big. But shit. Like, this game is super well earned. I think fantastic, and I can't wait to do the story. Final Fantasy XIV, however, does give you the ability to skip up to the current story. So I don't know why they've done this in a sense. I get it at the same time, but I'm not a huge fan of when mechanics come in. So Shadowbringers has added, not Shadowbringers, the 14 has added a lot of microtransactions, so you can just go in, jump in, play. If you're a new player, you can just go play an MMO game. You can just skip all of it. If you got an account that you wanted to move to a different service, or you haven't been playing in a long time but want to keep up with your friends, Final Fantasy XIV allows you to skip the story for Shadowbringers. It also allows you to skip the ability to, like, so you can do the story for your other classes like Gunbreaker and Dancer. Lots of different things have added to the store for the... I'm not a huge fan when these things get added, but I kind of understand that's kind of like the landscape. You can just skip straight up to current content if you want, if you've got the cash. Save yourself a month of pay and just straight up do that. However, 14 is out, and here's one of the reasons why I am not streaming it right now. Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker results in errors 2002 and worlds going down. So this is really extreme. Some worlds did go down and things like that, but this is pretty much, this is early access. One, it's early access. Two, it's MMOs opening up. The servers get bombarded. There's very few MMO experiences I've ever played where it was a smooth, fantastic experience on day one. And 14, it's been a hit and miss here and there, but it looks like this has just not been a great one. I mean, with the popularity of the MMO right now, understandably, the servers are pretty destroyed. And yeah, they'll come up soon. People will get in, people will dribble in. They'll probably open and squeeze. Like they can change how many people get into the hosting services all at once and things like that. That initial wave always is just, it's essentially like a DDoS attack. It's like everyone logging in at the same time attack. Like, it's just too much for the server. Yeah. It'll be fine. It'll work out, but it's going to be a reason why a lot of people might not be streaming it right now because everyone's. All right, out of the general news, let's jump into some specifics. So, money for merch. Check this Pikachu out. It's showing you its ass. I saw this was a weird thing. Just came up in my list of stuff. It was it'll show tail whips, showing off its tail whip attack. So. There's a whole heap of Pokemon that are coming out that are doing the Tail Whip attack, but a whole heap of them don't even look like Tail Whip. It just looks like they're putting their butt out and looking behind. Like that, this doesn't look like a Tail Whip. These are very strange. I don't get them. But the Pikachu one, that Pikachu's showing you its ass. I'm fairly sure that's what's happening. I don't know what's going on here. This is a bit of a weird one. But that's the only merch one I had for today. There were some other ones, but they were just general. Any announcements? Hell yeah, there's announcements. Danganronpa Teen is working on a game called Enigma Archives, the Rain Code. Guys, this looks amazing. I'm so excited. I love Danganronpa. This hasn't actually got the trailer, but we're going to go watch the trailer now because it's very cool. Let's see, this will do. This looks really pretty. Very excited. So the Danganronpa team come back to work with Spike Chunsoft. They're now in 2Q games. There they are, 2Q. They're working on a few different things at once, so I'm worried that they're stretching themselves thin. But it looks like Spike Chunsoft has put a lot of dev support on this. Because holy shit, polished. Is this the baseball game? No, it's something else. They've done that anime. They now are still working on their mainline baseball game, which is internal to them. But then there's this. It's a full 3D little world. It's more than Danganronpa was. I don't know what it is. So, okay, so the baseline of what we understand of it is this is it looks like this boy is a ghost detective and he solves murders that seem to be in these little parallel worlds inside a pyramid. I don't know, but it looks gorgeous. I love this main Reaper girl is very cool. She seems to turn into a ghost. There's this little derpy kid. He seems to be the main detective. But oh my god, it hits that Danganronpa vibe perfect. And it's just as if it's the new thing. It's like what they're next working on. And I hope it goes well. Enigma Archives, the brain code. Very, very excited. That kind of came out of nowhere, especially considering how many things they're working on. You know, it's one of those things. Hey, Lava, welcome on in. So we have a few other things to announce. So this one's a weird one. This is a pseudo other announcement I'll talk about here. So Another Eden, A Cat Beyond Time and Space teases a Chrono Cross collaboration. Weird collaboration. Chrono Cross hasn't been touched in a long time. Chrono Trigger hasn't been touched in a long time. Let's just say there is a very heavy rumor that is going on right now related to Chrono Cross. Not Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross. And if true, this might lead some credence into it. But Square Enix is a weird company. I can never predict what they're doing. But if true, that's pretty fucking big. And that'll be cool. I'm holding out that this possible leak is true. Metroid Dread's developer Mercury Steam's next title is called Project Iron. So it sounds like they've moved on from Metroid Dread. They've finished what they've done with it. It's done very well. It looks very good. I can't wait to play it. Yeah, seems like they got a new title that they're going to be working on. They're jumping straight in. I don't know if they've got any details as to what it is. It says it's a third-person action RPG and will launch globally for both consoles and PCs. A third-person action RPG. Interesting. Curious. I didn't actually see this news when I was going through the week, so I completely missed this, but hell yeah. I have high hopes for this team because they did fantastic with Dread. Fire Girl Hack and Splash Rescue for PS5, Xbox Series X, PS1, Xbox One, Switch has been delayed. So I talked about this last week. Was it last week? Maybe. I can't remember. I've talked about it before, but this game looks pretty cool. I'm kind of excited for it. It's looks fun. Normally I put this stuff in delays, but I feel like a lot of people haven't seen this game, so I'm going to put it under the announcements situation. But like the fact that it's like a side-scroller action with this sort of 3D pixel aesthetic that has you just bound through burning buildings looks very cool. I'm shocked that I've never seen any games like this before. It's kind of simple in a sense, but it's just very, very strong in aesthetic. And game flow looks fun too. Like it just is. I think this is a surprisingly like simplistic, clever thing that's been put together that I'm surprised really has not been touched before, to my knowledge. No, we haven't, Spider. That'll be in the business section later. But yeah, legit looks like a good game. I'm looking forward to see what happens with this. But essentially, she's a superhero firefighter. All right, talking about 2D and 3D actually. Paper Mario Nintendo Switch Online release date confirmed. Check it. We knew that this was coming. It's here, but we're only getting one game. It's essentially, oh my gosh. Wow, a different type of bot. Different time of bot. That. Poggies for bodies. All right, let's get back to the news. Let's not get distracted with that. Paper Mario Nintendo Switch Online has announced essentially a single game. Like, they're just announcing one game. I love Paper Mario, I really do. But yeah, it's going to be a slow dribble of games for the Switch Online service, I guess, for the upgraded one. I mean, this is a full-on RPG. This is a long game to be added. I mean, a lot of the N64 games, unlike a lot of the SNES ones, I think are a little bit longer in a sense. So I'm looking forward to this. Paper Mario is legit one of the best 10 games ever made. It would be good for anyone who has... Yeah, I completely agree. I think that the N64 service has a lot of really good stuff on there. I think it'll be... It's still one of those things that the service isn't really worth it in a sense if you're not able to get it on the cheaper side. But yeah, I think if you haven't played this game, you should just play this. Oh, what's happening? I might have to deal with this. It looks like a targeting thing. But yeah, I highly suggest playing this game if you have. I have a friend who liked Origami King, and she's really excited for this. Oh, that's cool. I haven't played Origami King yet, James. Apparently, like, Armin's played it a lot, and really suggested me playing it. I know Samurai played it a lot too, and I'll have to get around to it playing. I low-key want to get a new one, the new online, mainly for Wingback. Really? Wow, you're the first person I've heard that says that, Brookie. I haven't had anyone tell me that specifically that game. I don't really know anything about it. Origami King is great. It looks pretty good. It looks like at least a fun Paper Mario, even if it's not got the systems that I like. Alright. Let's talk JoJo. So if you guys didn't see, JoJo is out now. You can watch all of Season 1 of JoJo Stone Ocean. Fuck, I haven't watched any of it, but I keep wanting to. I've got other things I've been trying to watch right now, but I want to work my way around to it. But if you guys haven't seen this new opening, it's very, very good. David Pro really figured out how to do this art style. This is just clean. I don't know if I like the song that much, just because I don't think it quite captures what I think the grunginess. It's not grungy, punky enough for Jolene, but I think that it's still alright. Definitely different to the OG Paper Mario game, but it's still, yeah, I think so too, James. Looks like it should. Barely remember, but I'm happy. Well, I'm happy that people are able to play various different games that they wouldn't have been able to without these services, and that's kind of what's good about them. We watched this once already before, but we'll watch it again because this is very good. And it's another one that opening that shows like the series in motion, like it shows it from where it kind of starts and where it's going to go. So I kind of, from where this opening ends, I kind of think I know where the first act is going to end. Kind of has like that Japan like punk rock vibe, but it's not aggressive enough. It needs more grungy. See, that's too light for this. This is a bit better. So gorgeous. It's so well done. And the reference to part 3, Break the Chain. Look how pretty this is. Again, if you've not watched or read Stone Ocean goes places. It gets really wacky. It might be the most wacky the end of the JoJo arc is. God, it's so good. The amount of detail in this opening is amazing. But yes, so Stone Ocean's out. Pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoy it when if you've watched it. I like the OP, but I'm not a JoJo fan. I mean, that's fair enough. I'm a huge JoJo fan, even before the anime came out. And yeah, really think this. But one thing that happened that people are really excited about is the English voice actresses have been announced, and one in particular has really caught people's attention, which is Kira Buckland. You know, English voice acting for anime? Kira Buckland is super, super well known. She is pretty prolific in terms of English voice acting, and she's wanted to play Jolene. She's talked about this for years and years and years, and yeah, she gets to play Jolene finally. It's happened. You guys might know her probably from something I played recently, which is she is 2B from Nier. But holy crap, that's pretty cool. I'm excited for her. I'm excited for all the voice actors that get to work on this project, because I would imagine there's a lot of particularly female voice actors that we're very excited for roles to go up. But yeah, pretty cool. And one more anime piece of news. There is new Bleach anime trailer and visuals coming on December 18th. So if you don't know, Bleach is being resurrected because the final arc never got animated. Gonna say it probably will look better animated than it did drawn. Kubo kind of fell off the rails towards the end of Bleach. He was done. He was so burned out. He couldn't. And the final arc is rough. I don't think it's very good. I think it's a poor ending to the series. I honestly still think that the fight with Aizen is where the series should probably have ended. But I kind of want to see some of the fights animated because they kind of didn't make a lot of sense on paper. So hopefully they look a lot better. And I'm a big fan of Bleach. Yeah, that's all the anime news for now. Let's jump into a few fight game ones. I stopped following Bleach in the Hula Commando arc before the war. The war is probably the best ending for that series, in my opinion. I understand why people stop watching Hula Commando. I think it's a good arc. I think it gets a little weak in points. It definitely leans too much on being too similar to the previous arc of fighting the Spirit Society, but yeah, I still think it's a good, very fun. Fight games. Alright, DNF has 2 more trailers that are gorgeous. You probably see me link these in Discord. I really think that this game is looking really good. I'm kind of really excited for it. But if you don't know Dungeon Fighters, you might not recognize these characters, but holy shit, they animate gorgeously. I don't know what character I play because all of them look so dope. Oh God, it's so good. And Arxists are just, they're really on another level right now. They're really bringing a game. Them just developing other IPs is really paying off for them because it looks so good. Yeah, that was the Inquisitor. She looks pretty fun. Pretty not too out there moveset in what felt like, but still very cool. And then someone that's a bit more traditional that we've got our Ryu for the game. Well, kind of. DNF also revealed their grappler as well. These trailers very short, but so he's a grappler, but because of anime fightings, he kind of doesn't look like a super grappler. He almost kind of looks like an SN carry character at times. But shit, everything just looks really fun. I'm fairly sure. It's weird because I just realized, like, did he have Japanese on him? Because I don't know if is DNF's Korean. Is I wonder whether or not always had stuff because it's Nexon. Yeah, I'm fairly sure it's Korean. But yeah, dude, holy hell, those games. That game looks really good. I can't wait to see what actually looks like in motion. Actually, people fighting, playing like actual people fighting against each other. But it's still going to probably be a little bit more time because platforms and release date has still to be announced. They've been holding on to this news for so long, but it looks polished as shit right now for animation wise. But it's going to be a lot of work. Whoops, I grabbed the wrong thing. All right, that's all the game news. Now we're into the business game news. Only a few articles. Like I said, this isn't the longest news for today, but we'll jump into this. This one's pretty cool. This one we've kind of knew has been coming, and it's been sort of rumored, and then also the fact that we know how good the Game Pass is. Like the Xbox Game Pass is very, very good. What is this ugly crap on the sides? Bloomberg Sony Interactive Entertainment planning a new subscription service to rival the Xbox game. Codenamed Spartacus. Aimed to be launched in spring 2022. This is really good. If you own a Sony platform and you've used their services for like their equivalent of Game Pass, which is PlayStation Plus and whatever, PlayStation Next or whatever it's called, they're not very good. They're like, PlayStation Plus isn't terrible, but it definitely isn't the same service that Game Pass provides. And Game Pass is really killing it. So it makes sense that Sony's finally gotten around to doing this. And who knows if it will be as effective, because Microsoft's made a lot of getting exclusivity and doing certain things with the Game Pass that, like, it might be hard to muscle in on. But again, usually people who own a PlayStation don't own an Xbox, or vice versa. So this probably won't impact each other in a sense, but it might impact the PC market to some degree. So curious how this will go. But excited nonetheless. Competition is competition. 3D toon character generation. It's awful. James. Hey, CJ. They call him Samurai Cop. Speaks fluent Japanese. I don't know what that's from, but it feels like something I should know. How have you been, man? Missed most of the news. We're literally just finishing up. Alright. US politicians unveil new bill to clamp down on scalping. I don't know if this will work. I've heard these things before, but they're doing the Stopping Grinch Bots Act. I don't know how this is going to be incorporated. I haven't really read too much about this, and I kind of don't care in a sense, because it's one of those things that you'll see it go into place, and it's really just how they enforce it and whether or not it's effective. It's curious how this will work and whether or not it will impact global, but because it's an American bill, it's probably going to be targeted very, very American. The competition is the best thing to get things to improve, 100% in Dom. That's why I would like a fourth console in the market in a sense, because I think the dichotomy of the trio that's existed for a long time is good, but you definitely see stagnation and a little bit of for some of them. But competition is competition. You can't control it. People are going to. It's just going to come about how it comes. What way? Samurai Copy speaks fluent Japanese. I'll watch that in a second. That'll be how we finish. For that, Hazelight drops its Take-Two trademark after Take-Two takes interest. Holy shit, this kind of sucks. So if you've seen the game It Takes Two, it's really, really popped off. And good. I think it's earned it. It looks really good. I can't wait to play it at some stage. Yeah, it's unfortunate that the company Take-Two is now wanting to be involved, and it looks like that through law and stuff there's court proceedings and stuff that's going to happen, and they might settle outside of court and all that. But yeah, that kind of sucks. Grand Theft Auto parent company has made its 25 challenges in the past 3 months to protect its trademarks. Pretty rough. Hey Zeus, welcome in. I thought the PC was the fourth console. It kind of is, in a weird way, Red Rover, but the PC is kind of eternal. That's the thing. Unlike the other platforms, the PC will always be. The PC will always have a user group. There was a point there where people were talking about like phones competing on like with consoles. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like the phone market is a completely different market. Like you don't play games the same. Like you can play things like PUBG and stuff like that, but it really is not the same platform. Like PC, consoles, and handhelds. Those three made sense as like a platform. Handhelds have died out, and now we're left with we got kind of handheld with the Switch. But really, the phone may have taken over the handheld market. That's probably all you could say, I feel. 10 years ago, PC is dying. Ooh. PC definitely not going to die, unfortunately. Fortunately, rather. PC is the black platform, but its entry is a lot more trouble than other consoles. Yes, I would agree. I would say that the PC is the best platform because it's the most versatile, but it depends on how PC literate you are. Because unlike the others, you actually have to go out of your way to do stuff. You have to do your research. You have to set up things. Certain games don't work with certain setups. Like, if you just bought a laptop or something from a store that's pre-made and then just use that, like, sure, you can do that, but you have to go do all the software side of it. Like, you may not have to upgrade that thing, but it will have, like, its limitations. Console games are designed for the platform that it's on. It will always be designed for that. Whereas PC can just have all sorts of issues from it being specific to the machine, the person's setup, how you have installed something or done something. Like it's complicated. It's complicated fast, and like that's why it's fine for the console market to still exist. Like it gives an easy access as well as a sort of a line in the sand of what is the generation. This is what the generation's hardware is. It's there. That's why it's really weird that Nintendo's slightly off beat compared to the others, because Nintendo don't really do top of the line, but they are still using this current. They're meant to be using current gen in a sense, just maybe not graphic for. So it's a funny thing. The industry is very complicated, and I love it for it. All right, let's watch Samurai Cop because that's all the news we actually have for today. There wasn't, like I said, it wasn't huge amount. We will probably be doing more next week. I think I'm fairly sure I'll be able to stream next week. I need to double check. Give me 2 seconds, chat. I need to double check something. Because I might not be able to do the news next week, which might kind of suck because if not, then we've got a situation where I might not be able to do the Games Awards show. Where's my calendar? All right, yeah, okay, no, we good, chat. We good. I can do next week, but I don't think we can do the week after. So, we'll see. All right, let's watch Samurai Cop.
They call him Samurai. He speaks fluent Japanese.
Are you Fujiyama?
What does katana mean?
It means Japanese sword.
I've actually watched more of that. That's actually is there a better cut of it? There's a longer version of that that's really fucking funny. Hey Pig Guy, welcome in. Wait, they're doing a Game Awards? Yeah, the Game Awards. Well, the Game Awards next week, and the various other awards. I didn't talk about the various other awards. There is a lot of award shows going on right now, but they're kind of not really anything. They won't reveal things unless you're into award shows. I didn't talk about Hollywood because there are a lot of like biased opinions. Like it's nonsensical. A lot of that stuff. I don't care about award shows. The award show I don't care about. It's really just the reveals. Nice to see when things get the claim they deserve, but at the same time, sometimes it's just very strange. That top recommended video, it's twice the length. Alright, maybe we can watch this. I like that it's presented in the same way.
They call him Samurai. He speaks fluent Japanese.
It's very quiet.
Fujiyama?
These, what's his name? Omaha, Yamaha, whatever his name is, right?
What does katana mean?
It means Japanese sword.
So they call him Samurai, huh?
Yes. You're welcome.
Okay. There's more cuts. There's a really good cut. I'll have to watch it. There's a best of. Shit, that movie's whack. Alright. Alright. Let's I think that's all the news for today. And we'll I'm gonna quickly BRB chat as we set up Fossil Fighters. We may be able to finish Fossil Fighters today. Who knows? But I'm gonna quickly BRB. Play game. Game time!